This is TWiT.
This is like TNW invaded by All About Android today. It's pretty exciting for me anyways.
It is very exciting, yes.
Yeah. It's good to welcome to the show Florence Ion from Gizmodo. Let's say Gizmodo at the top and then All About Android right underneath Gizmodo to talk a little bit about yesterday's Samsung event. Flo, it's great to have you here.
Oh my goodness, did we have a Samsung event already?
Already. Yeah, and not only that, we already have the next version of Android that dropped this morning that you also wrote about, but we aren't really going to talk very much about that.
Oh my gosh, do we have the next Samsung phone in hand right now?
No, you're so lucky. I'm so jealous. I wasn't even able to place my order yesterday. I literally tried for hours to give Samsung my money through the Samsung website, and it wouldn't work for me, but you didn't have to do that. Apparently, you've got the Ultra.
No, but I did. Okay, Jason, just let's hold on. Hi, Mikah, also, by the way. I do have to write like thousands of words about this. So remember, It's not all roses from here. And all I've been doing is just trying to see if this zoom, there's 4 lenses on this thing. I'm trying to see if this zoom on this 108 megapixel camera is it, if it's going to really finally... Is it going to take the crisp picture of a bridge that I want it to? That is my ultimate test.
That's
I'm
a good
go
question.
Test that later today.
I mean, I kind of feel like when it comes to the cameras on the phone, I've just realized time and time again that telephoto, if there's an optical lens on a phone, that ends up being the extra lens that I use the most more than like a wide angle or even, more often I'm using it more than the main and trying to get a distance in doing that. So I love that the S22 Ultra has that. And I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Samsung had an event yesterday. They announced a bunch of devices, essentially the Galaxy S series phones. So the S22, the S22 Plus, the S22 Ultra, which is the one that you were just holding up there. And then a couple of tablets as well, the Tab S8. Is there an S8 Plus? I know there's an S8 Ultra.
Yes.
Maybe there's only, okay. So it's the three different
Papa
variants
Bear,
on both sides.
Mama Bear, and Baby Bear.
So, I mean, Samsung, I will say, like, I was doing live coverage of the Samsung event yesterday morning here for TWiT on my lonesome, but I wasn't lonely because I thought Samsung actually did a really great job illustrating these devices. I don't know how popular, how many units they're going to sell. It's Samsung. They're probably going to do all right. But I'm curious to know your thoughts, like starting with the S series devices. Are you happy with the upgrades that we're seeing? Is the Ultra enough? Well, what do you think?
I think that the S22 series as a whole is just really supposed to be an update, but that Ultra is supposed to be the real thing that everybody is going to pay attention to.
Yeah,
the S22 and the S22 Plus, they're the updates to last year's phone. In terms of looks, I have one of the S22 Plus as well, but obviously the Ultra is taking precedence because that is essentially the reboot of the Note lineup. And that is who Samsung's really appealing to with this, to kind of reestablish and say, look, we've consolidated these devices so that you have one flagship event. And then I think now, instead of what we used to get a Note event in the summer, we're going to get a foldables event. And so that's where like the real Samsung fans. Because if you're a real Samsung fan, maybe you've given up on the large form factor and now you want something foldable. So
yeah, you want something new. You're always looking for your next fix. Like, what's the next thing to get me excited about Samsung devices? Samsung delivers on that. So, I think that's smart. We've been talking the last couple of years about these rumors that the Note series was going away. Ultimately, it's kind of like, yeah, that happened, but it's a super technicality, right? Like last year, we didn't have a Note. This year we do, but it's not called a Note. It's called the S22 Ultra. Are Note fans, and also realizing you've only had this device for a short amount of time, I'm assuming, based on what you've seen so far, like, is this more or less an apples to apples comparison between what Note fans got before and what they're getting now? Are there any aspects of this new Ultra device that take the Note that they originally got and improve upon that and take it to another level? What do you think?
This hardware is incredible in the hand. I will certainly say that. And the hardware that they stuffed into it is all like the latest and greatest. I didn't check to see which memory model they sent me, but you can get it with up to 12 gigs of RAM. So this is definitely, it's the same like power user's device that the Note was, all the way down to that stylus. And it really feels like they just reopened the warehouse where they were making the Note and just turned the machines back on. And they're just like, all right, let's continue production now with, you know, the sort of visual improvements they've made to like the outside of the phone. It's not it's a teensy tiny matte. So
works.
you're not super worried about it.
What color is it?
Sliding around on like a desk mat.
Yeah, right.
Is it graphite in color? What is the finish you're working? I couldn't quite tell.
It's Phantom Black, and it looks a little gray in person.
Okay.
Looks a little gray. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they even have some colors that are specific only if you're ordering on Samsung. And so I think they actually have like a gray that is, you know, so the Phantom Black anybody can get. But if you go to Samsung, they have like a gray variant that's a little bit lighter than that and a couple of other colors. Another thing
Call
that the
me
S22
when they get
Ultra,
Phantom Green. That's all I have to say.
They do. Do they have a green? I feel like maybe they do. I don't know. I lost track.
Yes.
They've got a bunch of colors. Yeah, that looks pretty.
I think all the phones
greenish.
come in 3 of the same colors, and then the special one for the Ultra is going to be this burgundy red, and it's really stunning in person. I think it's really pretty. I'm going to see because my mom is supposed to upgrade her Note 8 to this device. Like, she's been waiting for this. So I'll see if she...
Oh, okay. Your mom has taste if she's waiting for the S22 Ultra.
She's still using the Note
Flo's mom.
8, which is not
Yeah, it's time.
very recent.
It's time. It's time for her to get one of these so that she can become a TikTok star, which really, it seemed through the presentation, Samsung is paying a lot of attention to, obviously, the camera hardware, but also software features that are going to give it a little bit more of that kind of like, yes, you can do a lot of things with this that you could do, in film, let's say, so that you could take your social media video to the next level. So who knows? Maybe your mom is going to become a star. It also seems like it's tailored around gaming. They had mentioned that there was a vapor chamber cooling system inside of this device. I think that's new to the Galaxy series devices. I don't know if there's any way of really putting that to the test on your end when you end up doing a full review. Is that something that you're working on? Will you be doing a full review of the S22 Ultra?
I am doing a full review. Yes, I'm starting with the photography because that's, the most quickest to access. But I'm going to do synthetic benchmarks, the whole battery rundown. I am going to look to that thermal chamber situation to see, like, is this just marketing? How hot does this phone get when I'm running benchmarks on it? How hot does it get when I'm just like using Pokemon Go out in the sun and, the sun is kind of hitting down on the metal, because all these things will affect the temperature of the phone in total. And again, this thing is a huge powerhouse.
Yeah. Well, and if that's able to ramp down the heat inside of the device, then you're going to get, potentially better battery life, better performance. All these things could potentially shift the performance of the Ultra series, which was already top notch in previous years, but shifted to an even newer level. And of course, it has the S Pen that hides inside. So that's exciting. I realize it's easy to talk about this and burn through our time. We've only got a couple of minutes left. I did want to kind of mention the tablet side of things because Google's working to kind of revitalize, it seems like, on their end, the tablet ecosystem for Android. Whether they're going to be successful with that or not remains to be seen. Android 12L is, tailored for larger screen devices. So obviously that's going to work with foldables, also with tablets. And I think I saw some news that said that this device is going to be getting 12L support relatively nearish. I don't know when that time is, but how do you feel about Samsung's approach here with these tablets, which are not inexpensive? Like the top of the line, the Ultra of the S8 series, or the Tab S8 series, is, what is it, $1,100? That's an expensive price for an Android tablet. That's crazy. Yeah, starting. That's crazy. What do you think? What are your thoughts there?
Let's Also, not forget the $300 keyboard accessory, which you would really like to have if you want to get full functionality out of that 14.6-inch Tab S8
Jeez.
Ultra.
It's huge. It's huge. It's larger than the largest iPad, I believe, right? I think that's like 12.5 or something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see. I think Samsung's going to position that larger one as kind of like a Chromebook replacement. Like, oh, maybe I don't want to use Chrome OS, but I want everything in Android. I don't know. I feel like you really have to be okay with using DeX, because DeX is essentially Samsung's, like, it has a very similar layout. You'll see like a dock on it, and there's even a mouse cursor. There's a really nice trackpad on that Folio case, by the way. It feels just as nice as like a laptop. I was really
Do the keys?
really
Okay, so do you have So apparently you have that case, or maybe you don't. I don't know. But
no, I got to touch these for about an hour
you
when
got
I
to
was
pod
like
them for a
photographing
little
them.
bit. Okay.
Yeah.
So the question I always have with cases like that have the keyboard, like when it comes to the keys themselves, do they travel enough? Because I find that like the really shallow travel keyboard cases, like that's not going to work for me long term. Like it might work for an email here and there, but I couldn't punch out an article on it.
Oh no, it's solid. It's a solid keyboard. It's a solid keyboard and it's backlit. So I have some, and I went with long nails, and I got to kind of like try it out. So I
You're
have
also
some.
a big keyboard person. Like you rock the mechanical
that's
keyboards
true.
and all that kind of stuff. So I'm
Yes.
actually impressed to hear that you like this one.
I actually also liked the keyboard on the really small Surface Go 3. So I'm really into the idea of a Folio keyboard. Like I like it because I really liked the keys on the Pixelbook. And they were, remember, Jason, those kind of had like a very similar short travel, but
that's true. And I actually liked those. So that's a really good point. Now, that's one example of kind of that shortish travel that I guess I adapted to or got used to. But I don't know. I've had some of these cases though where it's really shallow, and I don't know. It's almost like you're tapping on doing a keyboard on a touch screen, and I don't know. That just doesn't do it for me.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that.
Just very quickly wanted to mention the Tab S8 Plus and the small Tab S8. I think those are $700 and $900 respectively starting prices. And those I think are definitely supposed to be like Android tablets that you consider for something that is high performing, high res screen. The screens on all of those tablets are gorgeous because you would expect, quite frankly, nothing less from Samsung.
For sure.
And so you're choosing the brand because you really like their displays, and that's what you're investing in at the end of the day. They have all the same internals, though. I believe that they have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. It's really just going to be down to what is Android going to be like for these form factors, and that is a wait and see.
That is a really big question mark. I have to imagine it's going to be better than it is currently. I mean, I'm optimistic about the fact that Google's actually paying attention to it again, and that's a good thing. But again, it's that chicken and egg problem. Great. So the OS is made to be more tablet friendly. Where are the apps at? Are the developers actually caring as much about that functionality and broadening out that what they're offering for tablet users on Android in the same way that they are on iPad? And I'm just not so convinced. Each time this happens, I'm not so convinced that's going to happen because I'm proven wrong every time. So here we are.
Here we are.
Flo, thank you so much for hopping on with us this morning. I always love podcasting with you, so it's great to get you on this show as well. Flo, of course, writes for Gizmodo, gizmodo.com. Follow all her stuff over there. Definitely be looking out for her review of some of these devices. Also, we mentioned earlier in this interview about Android 13. Flo has already written about that, so go read that right after this show is done. Flo, thank you so much. It was great talking with you.
Thank you,
morning.
Jason. Thank you, Micah. And I love all of you back at the studio. Thank you.
We'll see you soon, Flo. Take care of yourself.
Bye.